Hello everyone, Noel with First Light Outdoors. I'm here today to talk to you about your Backwoods carry gun. For me, I've chosen the Glock 20, which is a 10mm. The reason I chose this gun over your more traditional revolvers or things like that is the 10mm falls right between a .357 and a .41 mag, so it's a very powerful round. Plus, the Glock affords me 15 rounds in a magazine versus 5 rounds in a cylinder. Just a lot more firepower. The other reasons I chose to go with an automatic more so than the revolver is your carry options, and I'll get to that in a second. But first I want to talk about some of the features on the Glock here that I appreciate and that I've modified to make this gun perform better for me. First thing you notice right away is the longer barrel. I've added to this gun a 6.61 inch Lone Wolf barrel. And that's to help me with accuracy, velocity, and obviously foot-pounds of energy downrange. The more accurately and the harder I can hit what I'm shooting at, the better, in my opinion, for the purpose of this gun. If I got something bearing down on me, I want to be able to dispatch that threat really quick. So that's why I made those modifications. The ammunition that I shoot out of this gun is the double tap, 200 grain, wide flat nose gas checked bullet. Very hard hitting round. The factory specs on this ammunition are 1,300 feet per second out of more of a standard barrel and 750 foot-pounds of energy. So it's a very potent round for the backcountry. My hat's off to Double Tap for coming out with such a great backwoods round. They're kind of hard to come by. Plus the bullet in this round is gas checked. So what that means is there's a copper jacket on the back side of this lead bullet, and that prevents the gases from sleeping around the bullet as it goes down the barrel and actually melting the lead, which affects your coefficient, it affects your accuracy, plus it affects your fouling in the barrel. That gas check just kind of acts as a seal between those gases and basically getting ahead of the bullet. So great round. Double Tap also sells just the components to where you can buy just the bullets, you can buy just the brass and load your own. That's what I'll be doing next. I first ordered some of these rounds just to try on the gun, see how they perform. Perform very well. Very impressed with the accuracy, very impressed with the recoil and everything out of the gun. Very manageable. Now onto the gun. So there she is from the outside. On the inside, now this gun has been safety checked, but we'll just quick do a safety check here for you. No magazine. Nothing in the chamber, it's all good, all clear to go. Point the gun in a safe direction, release the firing pin, we're clear to tear this gun down. So, our modification you're probably going to know, for you Glock guys out there, you're going to notice right away that that's not the factory guide rod. I've replaced that one with a stainless steel guide rod and a 22-pound recoil spring. And I did that from a recommendation from Double Tap with that ammunition and shooting it in this gun to go with the 22-pound spring. And then the other thing I added was a Recoil Buffer. It's this little gray cushion that sits up in the top of the slide up here between the recoil spring and the slide. And it's a recoil buffer, and it does exactly what it says it's supposed to do. It just kind of buffers that energy going back and forth, that shock. So there's those internal modifications that I've made. Now the one other modification that I have coming for this gun that didn't come with the other stuff is a slug plug. Glocks were designed for combat type use, designed for thousands of rounds before cleaning. This port that goes up the back of the back strap here goes all the way up into the trigger mechanism. It's designed so that any gunk or buildup, foulings, all that kind of stuff that ends up working its way to the back of the gun through extended use has a place to go. It has a place to fall out. Well, for me, as a backcountry gun, I'm not shooting this gun that much. I take it to the range and I shoot it to get comfortable with it and that type of thing. Occasionally I bring it home and I clean it, so I don't have to worry about that. But when I'm in the backcountry, I'm not shooting this gun. This gun is at my side, it is hot, it's loaded, and it is ready for defensive use. I don't want sticks, dirt, water, rain, what have you, getting up into my trigger mechanism. So there's this little slug plug that goes right in that hole. It also adds as kind of a guide for your magazine, empty magazine here, to slide in. So when it's in, it actually kind of creates kind of a ramp there for the magazine to hit as it goes in. So that's one modification that's on its way. So there's my gun. That's what I carry in the backcountry. How I carry it is in a, what I've chosen to use is a Serpa tactical leg platform. It straps to my thigh, hangs from my belt in 2 spots, hangs from my belt in these 2 locations, and then there's 2 straps that wrap around my thigh and hold it on my thigh. The reason I chose to go this way is because if you've ever hiked in the mountains and you've carried a sidearm on your belt, the pack and the sidearm don't work really well together. The waist belt to the backpack ends up kind of covering your gun, or it ends up covering up the part of your holster that mounts to your belt, and ends up kind of binding and pinching on the side, and it makes your gun less accessible. It makes it harder to get your gun out. The tactical platform keeps it totally away from your backpack, and it's out of the way. It's good. Plus, if you've used a holster, at least for me, the problem I've had in the past with using more of a leather traditional holster with a revolver is the gun wants to get hung up, especially if you've been hiking all day, you're sweating, or you're out in the rain. That gun tends to hang up more in a leather holster. Now, I know you can tether it to your legs, and there's certain things you can do to help mitigate that issue, but it doesn't come out like this. It doesn't, I'm sorry, it just does not work this smoothly. These Serpa holsters are great. Now, I've chosen to go with a level 3, which your level 3 is up here. It's got the thumb release on the inside, so when you grab it, you're releasing it there. And then the level 2 is this finger here, this one. So it's locked in there now, can't come out. And then the level 3. The other nice thing about level 3 is it just protects your gun all that much more. If I'm hiking in the mountains on my own and I have an accident and I fall off a trail, I don't know if you've been there, but I've been there. I've been on some mountain trails that thought to myself, man, if I go down there, I am in trouble. If I fall off this trail, I'm in trouble. Well, you know what? That, in theory, it could happen, right? And we hate to think about those times, but it could happen. So if I tumble down the side of a mountain, break my leg, and I manage to survive, I'm depending on somebody to come find me, I want my gun to be with me. I don't want to have to worry about it falling out of an inexpensive holster, and I don't want it broken. So I want my gun with me. So that's why I've chose to go with this holster. Plus, I always got an extra magazine. I've got my flashlight, my little Scorpion flashlight here. Just a great system for holding your gun. So there's my gun. That's how I carry it. Hope this helps you. I highly encourage you to get out there, but be safe and carry in the backcountry, especially if you're in bear country. And you make it a great day. God bless. Bye-bye.